how much silver JP Morgan can squeeze into the SLV ETF before it runs out. How much did it claim to squeeze into SLV on the day of Silver Squeeze 1 in February last year? Commodity traders sounding the red alert, asking for immediate bailouts from all their governments all around the world. As you probably know, is controlled by JP Morgan, and in its New York vault, here we have the silver bars listed in the SLV ETF. You have one in New York. In its New York vault, there are 102,837 bars, supposedly totaling 103,176,000 ounces of silver. Now, if we look at the total eligible stocks of silver in the JP Morgan Chase vault in New York, we have 142,239,908 ounces. Those that I read before in the SLV ETF are already accounted for, and they are not registered because registered means for sale against futures contracts. SLV bars cannot be for sale because they belong to SLV. So you have a total of 39,063,655 ounces that can be shuttled into SLV from its New York vault. Now, how much did SLV put into the SLV ETF? How much did JP Morgan put in there on the day of Silver Squeeze 1 in February? That black rectangle, that is Silver Squeeze, that is the shuttling in of silver into the ETF, totaling 112 million ounces, about 3 times what JP Morgan has left in its New York vault. Now, it is possible theoretically that a lot of that silver came from other vaults in London. We just don't know, but we're very close to squeezing SLV to death back in Silver Squeeze 1. And there is more silver in it now. It has been trending up since the beginning of 22 by what looks to be about 30 million ounces. And that is about how much it has left in its New York vault. Now, if we look at the food price inflation situation, which I believe is the most accurate in terms of the actual price inflation levels, because you can't really substitute for food. Everyone has to buy food. You have the leading countries in the price inflation rate, the hyperinflationary countries of Argentina, Turkey, and third, Mexico, which is the silver producer leader. And high prices there will discourage Mexico from exporting its silver. Then you have Russia, which is at war right now. Fine. Then Brazil, and then the United States, almost at 8% food price inflation. So the dollar is incredibly weak right now, and it will only get weaker from here. You see here that since 2021, since late 2021, there were about 725,000 ounces of platinum in the storage in New York, that now we are down to 424,677 ounces. That's about 300,000 ounces physically removed from the vault since then. That is an enormous amount more than has ever been removed in the platinum market before. Now, according to my math, we have 10,325 warrant deliveries since July 2021. Since that point, when platinum deliveries were at a high, or when platinum stocks were at a high, we've had 10,325 warrant deliveries. A warrant is a contract. Each contract in platinum is 50 ounces, not 100 ounces. So, given that we've had 10,325 deliveries since July 2021, when ounces were at a peak, and we've had 6,000 contracts worth move out since then, that means about 60%, a little bit less than 60% of all deliveries in platinum have been physically moved out of the stores. Now, where are we now? That means that the platinum market, at least in COMEX, is mostly a delivery market right now. Here's the current situation in platinum. We have 3 days to delivery. We have 14,525 contracts still open. And how much platinum do we actually have? We said 424,000 ounces. That's about 8,493 contracts available to deliver, and only 5,312 of those are actually registered for delivery. So we need to move about 9,000 contracts out into the next month, roll over in the next 3 days, or registered platinum could run out. Will it? Probably not. These things usually get saved at the last minute, but it's always something to monitor that gets exciting in the last days. And we've seen platinum moving out in torrents since July 2021, and it's probably still going to be moving out this delivery month. Finally, we have something going on in GLD. In GLD, the equivalent of SLV in the gold market, We've had huge inflows of 3.5 million ounces since January 2022. So we've seen inflows into SLV, we've seen inflows into GLD, we've seen outflows in the platinum market, and emergency situation in energy markets from the Energy Federation of Traders in Europe. Something is going on, folks. Something is going on in the paper markets, not just in gold and silver. While it is true that banks use paper markets to quote unquote manipulate the price of gold and silver, it is more of a structural issue, in my opinion, that the paper open interest in every futures market is way higher than the physical supplies of the available commodities on planet Earth. And that is why a squeeze everywhere is coming, led by gold and silver at the end, which will collapse the dollar and bring physical reality into line with paper reality by pushing prices of everything much, much higher in the real world. This is the end game that we should all be preparing for. And that end game for silver is that every commodity, instead of being priced in fiat currency, is priced in silver